Welcome back and thank you for joining me. Today we will look at pigeon pose, my favorite asana. So this practice is for you if you're looking to increase the rotation and health of your hip joints and perhaps release some tension in your pelvis and lower back. We're going to focus on joint articulation in this practice. So start by coming into a comfortable seat with your right leg bent and your left leg bent behind. You can have your foot either on the side here, or I like to just tuck it underneath. It depends on how your knees feel today. Start by gently leaning the weight of the torso forward. Place your hands on your thighs and add some weight down through the legs. As you do this, connect with your natural breath. We're just using the weight of gravity to help the body to settle before we begin. I want your body to feel safe and present before we start. Beautiful. Now you can create a little bit more space in between your legs just by opening them up, and use your right hand to support your body wherever you feel most comfortable. Remember that I'm offering you cues for your own exploration. It's not going to be a prescriptive method-based practice. So we're going to begin by rolling through the hip joints. So how would it feel to roll the back hip, in this case the left hip? How would it feel to roll that in? You can see how I've come onto my toes here. And as I roll this hip in, the rest of my leg responds. I roll on my toes, my heel rolls, and I roll on my knee. So the movement is led by the bones and the joints. And it creates this beautiful spiral all the way from the tips of my toes, up my body, and out through my right shoulder. So practice that yourself. How does that feel? To roll on the toes, allow the heel to roll, allow the knee to roll. The left hip kind of rolls in and folds in, and the right shoulder now begins to roll back. You can see how I'm gently coming into the posture and then I'm coming back out again. Because I'm not looking to complete the pose, I'm actually looking to explore how my hips feel today and how my joints feel today. And so if you need to just stay here and just practice that little movement, then I invite you to do that. Please work within the natural limits of your body. Just one more thing here. So as I roll in, I'm also going to gently tuck my tail underneath. This is a really interesting thing to begin to explore. So we have the hip as it rolls in, but then we also have the pelvis as it kind of rolls back. Just a little subtle movement of tucking the tailbone under. What that does is it lengthens through my lumbar spine so that I'm not just falling into this compressed shape here, because that's not really doing anything apart from compressing my vertebra. So we roll in, left leg rolls in, tail tucks underneath to lengthen through the lumbar spine. Right shoulder rolls back, left shoulder rolls back, and drop the chin so that the neck stays long. Beautiful. Gently come out of the posture and then roll through to the other side. So you can bring your legs in a little bit. Use your hands to support you if you need to. One hand, two hands, no hands, you choose. And we're going to roll through the hips here. We're going to do this a couple of times because it is very nourishing for the hip joints. So see if you can really use the intelligence of the feet here to roll on the heels, roll through the knees. And again, let's have that little tuck underneath so the lumbar spine is nice and long as we're rolling. And really, such a great thing to do, especially if you've been driving a lot, to begin to kind of oil those hips. Last one. So now I face my left leg. It's bent in front. My right leg is bent behind me. Rest the weight of the body forward. Feel the weight as it comes down through the thighs. Add some pressure with your hands. Notice how the breath feels. Beautiful. Open to create a little bit more space so you have more space to move into. Tuck the toes underneath. You can also practice, if that doesn't feel good, you can practice with them the other way. Work with your own body. I'm going to tuck mine under because I like to feel the relationship between the toes and the ground. And again, I'm going to start this spiral up through the body. So I roll on my toes. As I roll, my heel comes round, and then my knee begins to roll, and then the thigh bone rolls in, and then begins to roll through the hip there. Just going to do a couple of those to begin to feel. And again, I'm supporting myself with my left hand so I can just rest back slightly. Begin to really feel deep inside that hip. And the hip rolls in, folds in, that left side now. And pigeon pose is often done as a passive stretch where you come forward. But if we keep the weight rested back, it gives us a bit of dynamic tension to work with, or dynamic weight to work with. Now see if the spiral can go from the toes all the way up to the left shoulder. The left shoulder gently rolls back as the spiral comes up and through. I go in, I come out a little bit, and now I'm going to find the position of my pelvis. So as I roll forward, I'm going to roll the hip back or gently tuck it underneath to make sure that as I'm practicing, I'm not falling into the habit of compressing the lower spine. As I tuck that tail underneath, I kind of lift up through my upper body. Now I have the chance to drop the chin gently so that the back of my neck is long, the lumbar spine is long. Take a moment to check in with the breath. Ensure that we're not holding the breath through the posture. You can gently roll out and roll back in if that feels good. So you can begin to see that rather than just having a passive relationship with the posture. When we practice in this way, we're following the breath to really explore deep inside of the hips, inside of the pelvis. Just roll out when you're finished, and you can roll from side to side a couple more times before crossing your legs and taking a moment to feel how that is for you. Please remember to always go at your own pace and work within the natural limits of the body. Don't try to force it. Instead, just gently repeat these simple practices over time, and you will see a beautiful opening throughout your whole body.